Just as a short disclaimer, this video contains spoilers to the Titanfall 2 campaign. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on Juniper Rising, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we're actually going to be talking about the story or the campaign of a video game, which is something I have not done on this channel yet, but I just had to talk about this. So I have recently completed the Titanfall 2 campaign on normal, and I have to admit, it was extremely refreshing to finally get a good story in a first-person shooter game. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't follow the shooter market, first-person shooters have not had very good offerings on the single-player side of games in the last couple of years. Halo, which is a series that is known for usually having pretty good campaigns, has had a pretty disappointing offering when it came to Halo 5. Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare series, and the first Black Ops game and games before that had pretty good campaigns, but the last couple of years have been really kind of shaky. Very big blockbuster set pieces, but not much meat on that bone. And then, of course, there's Destiny, which is Destiny. It didn't have a story at all. It had a pretty pathetic excuse for a story, but as you guys know, I love Destiny for other reasons, not the story. And even the first Titanfall game had something similar to Destiny, where it technically had a quote-unquote campaign, but it had no real story. It had no real substance. Well, Titanfall 2 aims to change that. Titanfall 2 actually has a very refreshing, new, creative, single-player campaign that I think we should reward. We should reward Respawn Entertainment for providing something like this in their game. It's unfortunate that Titanfall 2 hasn't had the sales that the first one had, when it pretty much improves in every way over the first one, but it hasn't had the sales. And I think that Respawn and EA should be rewarded for good behavior and making a really good, solid game when it comes to multiplayer and single player. This single player campaign has a very simple plot. The plot is basically the same plot that's been rinsed and repeated over and over since the first Star Wars movie. The bad Empire force that controls the galaxy has gotten a hold on this big weapon that can destroy planets or large groups of people, and they intend to use it for terror. That's literally the story. When you say it like that, it doesn't sound very good. Well, the way that this is executed is extremely well. There is actually character development in this story. Now, for the most part, a lot of the characters are kind of disposable. You don't really care about them, but you do care about the Titan that you are partnered with, BT, which is, I have to admit, like one of my favorite characters in a video game since, I don't even know. He's just a great quippy robot. He kind of reminds me of K2 from the new Star Wars movie. Just quippy, very over analytical and stuff. He's just a great companion. And then there's the pilot Jack Cooper, who's kind of thrown into this mess at the last second, and he's trying to get his bearings as he has to basically be forced to become a pilot on the spot. And the connection and the relationship that is built between these two characters is really good. At the beginning of the campaign, it's sort of awkward. There's not really any conversation here. The Titan's old pilot dies. Spoilers, you guys heard the disclaimer at the beginning of the video. He dies, and it's just like you're kind of thrown to the position as BT's pilot. You take care of each other. You take care of BT. He protects you and he assists you in battle, and it's a beautiful campaign. I was so emotional, and this is the first time, I wouldn't say the first time, but it's been a long time since I've been emotionally attached to a character, and BT dies at the end of the campaign. And I have to admit, I was a little sad when BT died. I want to look forward to more campaigns with the character, but I'm glad that, Respawn had the guts to actually kill off a character like that. They're not setting up for a sequel or anything, which a lot of games, movies, and other forms of media do nowadays. They don't tell you a complete story just so that they can set up for another sequel. I hate it when movies and games do that, because they're not giving you a complete package that you paid for. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like Halo 5, is that there wasn't much story to that game, and they were really just trying to set up for the sequel, Halo 6, just automatically assuming that this game would be successful based on the name alone, which obviously it was. There is going to be a Halo 6, but still, I want a story in Halo 5. Titanfall 2 tells a complete story, start to finish, and they have no setup for a sequel at all. Obviously, there are going to be other storylines that a sequel can be applied to, but they're not blatantly throwing a cheap cliffhanger in there or just like keeping everyone alive so that they can push them into the next game. No, they kill off BT. Now, there is a small clip after the credits that kind of hints towards BT maybe being kept or something. If you don't know, if you haven't waited around to the credits, you see Jack Cooper's helmet kind of start blinking and making robot noises, and a lot of speculation is saying that somehow he has BT's like AI chip in his helmet or something, which doesn't make it kind of makes sense because he can extract BT's AI in his eye portion. So there is speculation that BT still is alive, and obviously we already know that he can be transported to other chassis and whatnot. So there is speculation that BT is going to come back, but it's not confirmed what that really was, what that little whirring in the helmet was. So if it does turn out to be BT, that is kind of annoying because they are kind of setting up for a sequel. But overall, the campaign is really well done. There are some gems for story missions in this campaign, especially the campaign where you are traveling through time. You literally get a small wristwatch looking thing that lets you transport in time, and it just the way it is executed, you may come to a door that is locked, but if you transport to another portion of time, it's unlocked or it's been blasted open. It is so cool how you are constantly going back and forth between different time periods to try and find a way to get through an area. There are even some portions where no matter what time period you go to, you're going to be in trouble, and I thought that was cool. It didn't feel cheap. It didn't feel like you could just go to the safe zone whenever you wanted. It felt challenging at times, which was a nice little surprise. Another standout mission among the really good missions is the factory mission, where you are going along a conveyor belt. And it reminded me of Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, that scene, except for much better executed. It didn't feel cheap. It didn't have a bunch of cartoony... That's a weird... It's a weird and it's a not weird comparison at the same time. But something similar to that where you're going along a conveyor belt and big pieces of machinery can crush you at any time and your pilot is jumping around and you're trying to dodge all these things as you try and make it through a piece of assembly line. That was a really cool mission too. And obviously there are these little moments between Jack Cooper and BT where you are selecting the dialogue, Mass Effect style, as to what you're going to say to BT and how he reacts to that. And those moments, there are some really nice moments in there. I do like it when BT first holds you in his hand and he says, "Trust me," and he throws you up to the top of the building. I think a lot of people are mentioning that little section because it really is. You can just tell that these two characters are beginning to form a bond that is unbreakable. And it really sucks that after you spent all this time getting attached to this Titan, that he dies at the end. But you know what? It made for a more emotional ending. I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed this campaign. I want more FPS shooters. I keep saying FPS shooters. I want more first-person shooters to take note from Titanfall 2. The only issue I have for this campaign is how short it is. This campaign will take you 4 to 5 hours depending on what difficulty you set it to, and that's pretty much how a lot of campaigns are going nowadays. Halo's, I think, was only like 5 or 6 hours. Same with Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I have not played Infinite Warfare's campaign, but I've heard that that one's not any longer either. So that would be the only complaint, is it's not a huge story to delve into, but it's really not a big deal because it's not like Titanfall 2 is basing itself solely on the campaign. It's got multiplayer and other offerings that make sense. So it's a great campaign. It's only 9 missions, but the missions are very long, and gosh, it affected me. It was a really good story. I really enjoyed it. It was a sigh of relief in a stagnant, stale market of gaming. It was great. So I would highly recommend you guys go pick up this game and you reward Respawn for the good behavior. because so far for Titanfall 2, it's all been good behavior. I'm going to keep using that phrase because you see so many games with season passes, microtransactions, missing content from day one. Titanfall 2 has none of this. They got rid of the season pass. There are no microtransactions, and this was a complete game from day one. So please go buy this game if you haven't already. You're doing yourself a disservice if you haven't. This is sort of a review for Titanfall 2. If I was reviewing it, I'd give it a big old thumbs up. Go pick up this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, this is Juniper, signing out. Just as a short disclaimer, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video today. And as just a side note, I wanted to mention that today is actually my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. So as you can see, I'm sitting with my setup in the back and everything, and I just want to thank you guys for all the support that I've been giving for starting up a YouTube channel a year ago. I know my first couple months of videos weren't very good. They're probably not even that good anymore, or right now. But I just want to thank you guys for the support I got over this previous year on the channel. And I'm starting to take this a little more seriously. I really enjoy doing YouTube, and I hope you guys realize that I'm not going anywhere. I have some dedicated subscribers who have been sticking around for a while now. I'm starting to grow up a fan base, and I want to keep making content for you guys as long as possible. So here's to another successful year in 2017. I have a lot of amazing things planned for the channel, and that I'm super excited about. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. This last one, I think I talked about Titanfall 2. That's the video I'm posting on my 1-year anniversary. But I don't want to make a big deal of it. I thought I'd just put something after the video. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, this is Juniper signing out.